Hello everybody, welcome to my Groove channel. Anthony here coming to you with some updates in regards to my workup challenges, other challenges that's going on in my life. I'd like to invite everybody to join me in this conversation and, also share some of your experiences. And yeah, and we're also going to be doing some tarot readings today. It's been a while since I actually been on here, and yeah, it's been a really amazing journey as far as the things that have been going on with me in my life since I started doing this in May. And I have been collaborating with Yvonne, who happens to be the Indigo Mermaid TV. And hey, Keppel, how you doing? Yeah, absolutely, we can have you added. And so, yeah, I've been doing a lot of work, a lot of self discoveries, and I'm actually getting in the best shape of my life. I've been working out a lot. As some of you who actually been following my progress with Yvonne and myself, and yeah, I gotta shave a little bit. It's time to clean up a little bit, but yeah. So for those of you who are watching right now, I do have a free yes/no question with clarifiers, as well as a 6-card free tarot spread, which kind of gives me some surface information in terms of what's going on with your question or what you're looking for. And then if you would like something full in depth where you'll be able to kind of ask maybe additional questions with that one main question you're looking for, or trying to figure out the process of either getting the question answered and then see how you can move forward with this question or answer, that would be a $5 donation, which all the links are in the description down below. So and any donation that you do make would also be very beneficial to this channel, because there are some things that I have to do keep it maintained. And wow, everybody just popped in. Oh, man, Leslie, hello. Donner Stomach Gas. Oh, that's right. I remember you. That's right. Leslie. Oh, man. So for those of you who are with me, there's a really, really excellent person in the chat right now, or actually pointing in this direction right here. Her name is Leslie. Now, I want to kind of share a little story in terms of how we actually came across. So it was actually very early morning. I was actually trying to do a live stream to get the sunrise meditation, but nobody wanted to join my live stream, so it was okay. We actually got to watch the live stream, and I was actually there with my friend Angie, who we also did like a small little interview on Yvonne's Indigo Mermaid TV channel. Now, I came across with her a couple of times, and the second time I came across her, because we were kind of talking about life experiences and things like that, and she actually has a fascinating story to her. Leslie, I have your contact information, so if you're up for an interview, like this week or the following weeks like that, I would love to kind of, share your story with some of my followers out there. But Leslie is a very kind person, and she has, based on what she's told me, she has come from a very, very big struggle and walk of life. And ever since I connected with her, man, we just had a huge energy meld. I'm kind of getting, a little teary-eyed just by thinking about this, because you don't really come across people like this. You don't really get to meet a lot of people with that same mindset in terms of energy and tarot readings and stuff like that. And she was really, really cool person to me, and I'm so glad I actually managed to talk to her, and we actually shared some information. I haven't been very active on the chats because I've actually been with my workout community, that I'm actually on a 30-week challenge, so to speak. I mean, I have to pay for it, I get a coach and everything, but yeah, I'm actually on a 30-week course. They're giving me a specific diet that I have to follow. So far, I've lost, within the past 2 weeks, well, last week and this week right now, I have lost, how many pounds would that be? I can't think of it, but I was 245 beginning of last Monday, and then this Monday I was actually weighing at 237. And right now I'm still weighing at 237, but that's also because I'm probably getting some muscle mass in terms of my workouts, because I'm really pushing it hard, and I'm also doing like Sunday hikes and stuff like that too. So, and yeah, this I'm going for the goal, everybody. Like, I'm wanting to get in this new body. I want, like, I want the six-pack abs. I want the pecs and stuff like that. And I'm really trying to push it to where I can really reach for that goal. So, oh, that's excellent, Leslie. So I'm gonna contact you maybe this weekend. I'll hit up the chat, and then we can go from there, and you'll be able to meet my other friend. Her name is Yvonne. She's I don't know if I have it in the description, but you can find her as the Indigo Mermaid TV, and we actually do a collaboration together where we both come together and do tarot readings for everybody. So, yeah, very cool. And today I just had my workout today. I'm feeling very aligned. I have my Nagshampa incense burning right here. So let's see who is actually on here right now. Oh, look, there's Indigo Mermaid. She's saying, ew, that's that dumb bitch. I'm just kidding. We love each other. But yeah, so man, this is so cool. I just got even more excited right now. So right now on my list, and I'm right now just kind of going in random in terms of people who are showing up on the chat here. I have Capel, I have Leslie. Leslie, that is if you're interested in tarot reading, definitely. And I also have Salatern and Elham. So we'll see how we do, at least with these 5 people. We also have DM. Hello. All right, so we're going to start off with those people. Now, I know if you actually have seen this channel before, I usually have a camera facing down at the cards. I have not doing that because I'm actually using this camera here to help me do some video blogging away from the desk. I'm actually trying to kind of separate myself from the computer a little bit more than usual, because I'm usually always in front of it, doing a lot of work on the computer. So, yep, I got you on the list, DM. So, let's go ahead and start off with Capel. So, Capel, if you can please give me your sign, your first name, and the question that you're looking for, and what kind of reading are you looking for? Are you just looking for a simple yes and no? Do you just want a simple 6-card spread, or do you want a full spread where we can kind of, do like a little layered reading, get your question answered, look more into it, which is actually a $5 donation on that, and all the information is down below. So yeah, let's see here. Okay, so I see your question come through, Capel. So why don't you go ahead and give me your first name, your sign, and Sonam's sign as well. This will actually kind of help me see compatibility a little bit. And you are a Gemini. So I'm assuming that your first name is Capel then. Is that true? Oh, excellent, Leslie. Thank you so much. And Yvonne, if you're watching this, you just got a new follower. Boing! Okay, so Capel, you are a Gemini. She's a Capricorn. That's interesting. An Earth and a Wind sign. Pretty cool. Let's see here. So you want to know if Sonam, who's a Gemini, you want to know the true feelings of Sonam, and you are a Capricorn. All right. So the deck that I'm actually using right now is called the Prisma Vision Tarot deck, and this deck is actually really cool because the fact that I might have to do another review on this one, but the cards on how they're designed is that if you actually put the suits all in line, in order, they actually form a gigantic picture. It's really cool. So, but yeah, I'm using the Prisma Vision Tarot deck to kind of help me out here. Awesome. All right, Leslie, hold on to that question. We're going to start off with Capel first. I'm just going in order in terms of people just came into the chat, and we'll definitely get to you. All right. So it's sort of like a mix in between the two that I'm actually getting. First of all, I started off with the Ten of Cups, right? And we also have here the Eight of Swords and the Ten of Wands in reverse. Now, what this is actually telling me is that this person's actually very comfortable with you. I'm getting a sense that this person really likes just to talk to you in general. Now, and by the way, for those of you who I'm actually giving the reading for, feel free to tell me if I'm wrong. I totally take that into consideration in terms of like if I'm telling things wrong. You know, I like to perfect the practice, right? And I'm totally for knowing if I'm wrong or not. You know, I can take criticism, so it's quite all right. So Capel and everybody else, if it feels like that what I'm telling you is off in terms of what I believe you guys are actually doing or what's going on, let me know. So so you said that you're in no communication situation. Okay, and that's understandable because I do have the Ten of Wands here in reverse, and but I do feel that you probably did have some type of connection before you got into no communication. This person actually is very comfortable with you. Though I see right now, with like the Seven of Cups here that I have, I'm seeing here it's I mean, with the cards that I have right here, I don't see much in terms of romantic feelings. However, I do have the Queen of Swords and the Devil card in reverse, okay, as the next row of cards for this clarifier. And I'm getting the sense here that if you continue talking to this person, or at least if you try to initiate a conversation, because right now you said you're not doing anything together, you can actually build a bond. Now, I'm not seeing any romantic feelings just yet, but I do see compatibility, right? And with the Seven of Cups here, especially being sort of like, if you choose the right path in terms of what you talk about, then it can actually blossom into a romantic feelings that I have here. And let's see here, to complete this, we have the Nine of Pentacles. So this is actually telling me that I feel like that sometimes you have to, I'm not sure who just messaged me, but the Nine of Pentacles in reverse is actually telling me here that image is everything for you. Now, for this person who you're asking about, this person can actually see the beauty within. Okay, so you know, I'm not exactly sure your physical appearance, even though that's not really that important, at least for me. It's definitely, I don't see it as important for the person that you're actually asking for, but you don't have to dress to impress. It's all about the mind in this case, because with the Queen of Swords in reverse and the Knight of Swords upright, again, with the Queen of Swords in reverse, is telling me that, you know, you don't have to sound smart. Just be yourself, right? And I think you have a problem. I won't say problem. Sometimes it's a challenge for you to actually open up to people and kind of show your true self, because maybe people have told you, oh, she's just a silly girl, and you don't like those particular comments. And so therefore you kind of like turn it into like this customer servicey side about yourself, to where people will actually like you more, or you believe that people like you more. there was a big misunderstanding between us, and I also think that I don't open often. Yeah, so if you have a misunderstanding of each other, I can understand why that, if you talk to this person, it can actually blossom to something, because with the, again, going back to the whole Seven of Cups here, that, it depends on the right path. Because I mentioned that earlier. It's about the path that you take in terms of what you guys talk about. So, if there are differences between you two, try to find the more peaceful solution to, close it up. And it's not about swallowing your own pride or admitting fault, even though it's not your fault. But it's just about trying to find peace between the two of you. Okay, so do I see any communication with her? Well, I do see that if you do talk, right? But if you want to look further down this road with this person, it will be a $5 donation. But right now, I'm just doing a 6-card spread for you, just kind of giving you a little surface here. And if you want me to pull more cards about this situation, I could definitely do that. $5 donation. Okay, so and awesome. So Capital, that's my reading for you. I hope this was helpful. And right now with this whole thing that I'm seeing here, I'd probably say that you probably need to just kind of, again, choose the right path. Choose the right path in terms of how you talk to this person, right? So, and I think that's the biggest thing here, because with the Nine of Pentacles here and the Queen of Swords here, we're looking at, you need to be yourself in terms of don't hide yourself, and especially with everybody else, don't try to be somebody you're not. Trying to impress people, that's going to get you down, into a rabbit hole of things. All right, so next up, and there's Mr. Timekeeper. Hello. Oh, and looks like we just got a $5 priority read from Grant. Okay, so Grant, I will definitely get to you. I do owe Leslie a full tarot card reading, and because she has priority. All right, so Leslie, if you can give me your sign again, Leslie. I'm not sure if I remember what you told me, but if you can give me your sign, and your question again, that would be really helpful. And let me know if the music's too loud, if you can't hear me. I like having some background music. Aquarius. It's the dawn of the Aquarius. Okay, Raven, thank you very much for that heads up. So let me go ahead and make note of this right now so I can get the order correct here. So I'm assuming Byron, or assuming not Byron, but Brian, you are Mr. Timekeeper. And then Raven, just let me know when you submitted that donation, and I'll be able to get you onto the list. And you'll be after Mr. Time. All right, and okay, so Leslie Aquarius, are you on the path that you're supposed to be on? Pretty heavy. And right now, like, I'm feeling like this super deep heart. Like, don't get nervous. All right. And interesting, because usually when I shuffle my deck, I always look at the cards when I split to see if it's ready or not. And so far, I got a Queen of Cups. So, good sign maybe. Let's see. Well, I got, for the first 3 cards that I pulled, which is usually like a yes and no, because I just want to get that answered right away for you. I have 2 evens, 1 odd, and this actually tells me it's a good yes. Not a strong yes, because usually if it's strong yes, it's all even numbers. So I just have like a 9 of Wands in, in reverse, but a 9 of Wands with a 10 of Wands and a 6 of Pentacles in reverse. So this is actually really interesting. This is actually was really cool about this, right? I told you about the Prisma deck. Check that out. This is the 9 and this is the 10, and look how they just kind of go together. And now this to me right now is actually a very good sign, right? It's a very good sign to start off with. I'm getting the sense here that, oh, this is interesting, because something brought my attention to this, especially when it comes to two cards being together. So we notice here, right? We have these little white lines that are kind of going in and out of trees. This is actually telling me here that you're on the right path, but it's actually going to be, well, two things actually. It's going to be a very interesting one. I feel like that there's kind of an uphill battle. Not battle is actually a strong word. There's an uphill climb, and I feel that maybe you're about, well, the number 2/3 is actually coming to the top of my head here. That you've already started this path a long time ago, and I see you actually moved forward quite a bit, and there's a lot of learning curves that you actually went through too. So that kind of explains to me like what I'm seeing in the imagery here. Now looking at the actual face value of these particular cards, I feel like that you actually had to pick straws with not so much family, but many friends. I see here that you probably actually started, pick and choosing certain people to be in your life, and even for some people that you didn't really pick and choose, like with the certain things that you do talk about with your friends and family, the ones that didn't really stick with you kind of just drifted off a little bit, and the ones that actually vibed with what you're talking about stayed with you. Now, I am getting a 6 of Pentacles here in reverse, and it's telling me here that you actually haven't been doing anything repetitive. As a matter of fact, I feel like that you actually try to do things differently on a daily basis. Besides the normal 9 to 5 job, and you may have some responsibilities here and there too, but what I'm getting here is you try to introduce like some new knowledge, like you pick out something different, like maybe like on a weekly basis, something like that, and you try to incorporate this into your life to where you can actually, it's not about change to not keep you bored. It's mostly about change to help you expand, right? Like knowledge wise. And let me know if I'm on the right path here with you, Leslie, because you're more than welcome to let me know if I'm right or wrong, honestly. So let's pull some more cards here for you. You're getting a lot of wands. I got a 4 of wands now and a King of Swords in reverse. And to complete this, King of Cups. And it's funny because I pulled out the Queen of Cups earlier when I split the cards. This deck is really talking to me right now. I see eventually, not now, but I see eventually like some male support. You're probably with somebody right now. I'm not exactly sure what your current relationship status is, but I do see strong male support with the King of Swords. He's not going to be there in terms of telling you the advice, because I don't think you're really paying attention to that. What you're more paying attention to is the people who actually are managed to kind of hold their own and are stable themselves to where you don't have to pick up after them. And I also have the King of Swords in reverse too, with the King of Cups. And yeah, so that's that right there. I feel like you do have a male influence in your life. I mean, it could be a boyfriend or husband. But I'm also getting the fact that, even though, you and this person might talk, any advice that they give you, you're like, oh yeah, sure, I'll totally take that into consideration. You just kind of file it away in the back of your head a little bit, put it on the back burner, so to speak, just to kind of let it, be on its own. And that's good that you take things with a grain of salt, but with you, it's a very, very, very thin grain of salt, which I think is really good, because you don't dismiss what they have to say, but you actually take in more about, not like just your own knowledge, but like what feels good inside here. And then with the 4 of Wands here, I believe the fact that because you are doing it this way, people are actually starting to respect that, at least the people who are actually following you. let's see here. Got the Magician in reverse, the Strength in reverse, and the Five of Wands in reverse. So, I'm seeing just, I wouldn't say self-doubt. There are some challenges that you are questioning. And I think it's because you probably took a hand in terms of, I don't know, something tells me that you were trying to mold energy, your chakras and things like that, like seeing how you can actually be more effective with this, because maybe you felt that even though that you may be centered in certain things, and especially with your lifelong goals, um, um, I feel that in certain situations, that it's probably because of COVID. It's probably with things that are going on in the world. You felt that maybe you need to find protection within yourself. I believe I'm seeing some type of resistance, like an internal resistance that you're really trying to make sure that it doesn't bother you, especially with the Five of Wands that I have here. And it's funny because these are actually two major arcana cards with the Five of Wands, with the Magician in reverse and the Strength in reverse. So, it seems like that you may, with all this I just said right now, that maybe you might have had I don't know, something like about maybe a door might have reopened, like past life, or not past life, but excuse me, like past experience of certain things, like things that you managed to get over with, but then they kind of resurfaced for some reason, like maybe somebody contacted you or something like that, and that's kind of what got you challenged here. I got the Two of Swords upright with the Six of Wands in reverse, and it's like the Six of Wands in reverse is sort of like actually telling me that you kind of sailed away and you actually did leave it behind, but because the Two of Swords, I mean, usually it's about decision, but like I feel like that something just kind of resurfaced. Either it's a memory or somebody actually did contact you. However, though, I feel that you've grounded yourself here with the Page of Cups here, and with that being said, how you're handling this situation, either it's already passed or it's happening now. I don't think it's a future event. I see it. I feel like it's more like happening now, but I feel like that you're actually handling it quite well. Don't let this discourage you, because maybe you might think like, oh, I don't want to be dealing with that kind of stuff, but I feel like that what you're doing is just fine in terms of how you currently handle situations, especially when it comes to decision making, not just because of this one person, but maybe it's just because just how you're kind of getting a whole hold of life. Got the Seven of Wands in reverse, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Devil card. So it seems to me, and the Devil card, that's really about, to me, kind of communicates to me about pleasure. So it's good that you're actually making sure that you're keeping yourself happy. And the fact with it's paired with the Eight of Pentacles, with the Seven of Wands, and you're getting a lot of wands here. I feel that you, even for you being an Aquarius, which is, I believe it's an air sign. And the cool thing about Aquarius, they're all about information, about soaking information, and providing too, for that matter. We have here a lot of knowledge that you love to give out, as a matter of fact. And I remember I told you earlier about how, people kind of distance themselves because they weren't really vibing too much in terms of what you like to talk about, because some people are just not interested or just not comfortable with it. But the people who do listen to the stuff that you've learned and that you want other people to grow, that's the Aquarius within you. And now we have, and the reason why I'm saying it's funny, because you have a fire with an air sign, right? And the let's see here, maybe 1 second. I just want to look up something real quick. I just want to make sure if I'm correct on something. Yep, it is air. I wanted to make sure I double check that. So, fire and air, right? So your air is fanning the flames in terms of your passion, right? And it's just going to get bigger from that. And that's the thing I'm noticing with all these fire signs that are occurring in your cards. And with the Eight of Pentacles, you're going to reap the rewards soon enough. It's going to come to you. The more you work at this, the more you'll be able to actually look at it and say, you know what, the benefits will come to me. With the Seven of Wands, I wouldn't worry too much about that, since that's more about like, you know, like surprise attacks on certain things, but that's in reverse, and so I don't think that's really going to be happening to you a lot. So and to kind of finish this up here, look at this, Queen of Wands, another Wands, right? So, and this could be like, you know, you being, you know, maybe you're an air sign with a fire sign rising, right? So it's like, this is like the fire sign, like maybe I'm looking at, with this being a feminine, especially a feminine card being Queen of Wands, I don't know. I feel like maybe the sign that the rising sign with you might be the Leo, perhaps, because I feel like that you're firm, but you sort of like to be a little bit of a leader too. So, and then you have the King of Pentacles here as well. So first answer to your question, yes, you are on the right path. You're about maybe 2/3 of the way, which I don't even know what that's supposed to mean, right? I mean, you know, most paths are never ending and stuff like that. But I guess what this pretty much means is that there might be some certain goals within this path that you're coming to a conclusion with, and whatever those goals are that you're actually working on, and I feel it's actually multiple goals. You're actually kind of coming to a really good path in completing these goals in order to complete yourself. Don't feel discouraged about your chakras. Don't feel discouraged about people like old flames coming to communicate with you to start up trouble. They're not going to start trouble, and even if they did, you know, you have the proper tools in order to kind of like leave them out, right? And with that said, you know, keep by the way I'm saying this, like, you know, keep pleasuring yourself, but it's more like about making sure that you keep yourself happy. Especially with the Devil card, you know, it's okay to kind of like do some guilty pleasures for yourself because you've earned it, right? Especially with the Eight of Pentacles, you're working really hard, and soon enough you're gonna see the rewards come to you pretty soon. So, whew, man, that was a really good one right there. And that there, folks, is how the $5 reads actually work. And we got two people here, Mr. Timekeeper and Raven, who would be up next. So Leslie, thank you very much for letting me do this read with you. I hope you enjoyed it. And by all means, you have my messenger information, so no, ask me anytime if you want a tarot read. You're a really cool person. I love you. All right. I have people messaging me. I'm not sure if they're actually on my YouTube channel right now. I'm not able to answer them right away, but cool. Old roommate. Okay, that makes sense, right? That makes sense. So if it's an old roommate that might have been like kind of a trouble, you know, maybe it might be like money. It's like, oh yeah, I'm doing okay, but you know, times are tough and stuff like that. I got kicked out, stuff like that, or somebody left me. I lost everything, and usually that's sort of like a tie-in to money. You know, like hey, maybe you can give me a few dollars here and there. And you're probably just like, well, you know, times are tough right now. I just don't have anything to give out, right? So, cool. So, Mr. Timekeeper, you are up next. And Raven, you mentioned that you gave a donation. Oh, here we go. Candace, yes. I'm not sure if she's online with me right now. Let's see here. And somebody said Cash App. Oh, so here we go, Skyla. All right. Well, thank you very much for letting me take the time to confirm that. All right. So, um, so how I'm going to do this here, ladies and gentlemen, just so that way we can keep the list moving. We have 2 priority reads here. First is going to be Mr. Timekeeper. Then I'm going to choose a random person to do a quick yes and no with no clarifier. But I will do a yes and no. And then after that will be Raven. Okay? That way we can keep this list moving. And... oh, you got to go back to work? Well, we got to make that money, right? But yeah, you're absolutely welcome. It was my pleasure. Definitely. All right, so... Mr. Timekeeper, which is Brian. So your first name is Brian. Give me your sign and your question, and I'll be more than happy to get this started for you. Oh, well, you know what? That's really nice of you. So I'm going to choose... one person right now to do a free yes and no while we wait for Mr. Time to complete the name, the sign, and the question. So next person who can post a question right now. Oh, Grant. Okay, cool. So next person who can actually post a question in there right now. Name, sign, and yes no question. I'll take that person right now and give you your cards. I would like to know, is Trey, Cancer, is interested to other women romantically? I'm an Aries. We aren't speaking till he can release toxic things. We had a long-term relationship. Yowza! So, alright, DM. So, Daphne. Alright, Daphne. You got your free yes and no coming to you right now. And then right after that, I'm going to take Mr. Grant. And Grant, why don't you go ahead and get me your question ready to go. Is Trey, Cancer, interested to other women romantically? And we need an even sign or even numbers. 6 and a king. So I have a King of Swords upright with a Temperance in reverse and the Hermit in reverse. So that's 2 evens and 1 odd. So there's a possible yes to this answer. With the King of Swords, I believe that's probably him. But I feel like that maybe with the Temperance and the Hermit, I feel Bachelor for some reason. Like even if you're with him or not, I feel like that he likes. He kind of visions himself as almost like an eligible bachelor kind of thing. But with the Temperance in reverse, I don't think it's going to be very lucky, honestly. Alright, so... alright, Grant. You are Libra, and I just need your question. And while I wait for your question, Grant... yeah, no problem. And if you want, Miss DM, if you want a full read on that in terms of like what to do, stuff like that, $5 donation, or just re-ask your question as soon as I'm done with these priority reads, and then we could do a 6-card spread for you. All right, who's my next person? Oh, we got the question here. So, all right, let's go ahead and continue with Grant. Grant, the Libra. What is the reason for my abilities? I have energy detection, empathy, and foresight. Well, this is really interesting. The first 3 cards that I actually pulled for you here. Knight of Wands upright with the 7 of Wands in reverse and the King of Cups upright. Now, I As far as reasons go, we probably won't get. Well, at least I have to pull more cards maybe to kind of get a more broader scope in things. However, I feel that your energy and these particular abilities, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Um, it sort of magnifies when. Um, this may sound weird, and correct me if I'm wrong. You're, and I really, and that's what Yvonne actually told me. It's like, stop saying that. I have a feeling that your abilities get magnitude when you're around feminine energy, especially women, obviously. But if it's also men too who have a little bit more feminine energy with them, I feel like that your abilities actually magnifies a little bit. Now, when it comes to a more masculine energy, I feel that it's not so much in terms of how they currently feel, but sometimes I feel like that you can actually sort of like, well, the first word that actually just popped in my head, and that was really quick, was danger. Um, like, I wouldn't say like danger life threatening, but I'm actually seeing, when I say danger, I'm thinking more in terms of just fair warnings in terms of like maybe relationship, money, and things like that. Like you can just kind of see in terms of whoever's a masculine, women with masculine energy, but mostly men, that that foresight ability actually comes head on. Now you don't really express it to a lot of people, especially guys, because they really don't seem to. They don't. Well, one thing, they don't warrant. You know, your abilities, but some of them probably don't appreciate it because they feel they have a better handle in life. But I feel here that it's so, I don't know, like, and I'm getting like a weird sense of my index finger too. Like like you could pick, like, I get a sense like you could probably. Like you could probably sit in the cafeteria and you're just kind of like, you pick out random people just to kind of test your abilities and see how you feel in terms of what you say and then what you probably know about them, or you just kind of observe what happens to them later on. Like maybe somebody got fired or something, or got pay cut. They can actually kind of show that, or maybe they might share some weird stories about their family or their relationship and stuff like that. So that's a really interesting way for you to actually like exercise these abilities. Now. I feel that you are more in tune with your empathic side, though. But I think what I think is really good here, though, is that because with you practicing these abilities, because with the Seven of Wands in reverse, you actually, I feel that you're probably going to talk to a couple people about this, and they're like, oh, yeah, you should totally do this, buy all these crystals, buy this incense and things like that. Speaking about incense, I have to burn a new one. Like, you get a lot of advice, right? And I think right now, you're like, yeah, I'm not coming to you advice. I just want to share my story with you. It's okay. So, you can shut the hell up now. I'm just kidding. You don't really say that. But, I do feel that you've been getting a lot of advice, but you don't really pay attention to a lot of that advice, which is actually really good. Do your own research. Do your own research on that, and also do what you feel is right. Three of Cups in reverse, Three of Pentacles upright, and the Fool card in reverse. There might have been a couple people who probably looked kind of down upon this, probably thought that you really don't have these kind of abilities, that it's probably just like, oh, it's just like self-intuition. You're really kind of just hearing yourself right now and not really applying to other people. And maybe you might have actually tried it with some people too, and it might have came out wrong. The reason why those people actually came out wrong, because they weren't very cooperative. They actually kind of... the fact that they were so skeptical that they wanted you to fail, and therefore it kind of redirected their energy, or your energy, to yourself instead of you reading their energy. So I wouldn't take that too harshly, the criticism from those particular people. And I think that because of them, I wouldn't say it brought you here today to ask that question, but I do feel though that it does kind of sit in the background of your head here. You actually never get advice on it. Well, that's good. That's good that you don't get advice on it. Keep it that way, because whatever you're doing in terms of, you know, uh, like your research in terms of what you want to do, stuff like that, and maybe that this might come later on in terms of you expressing it, and then they'll give you the advice. But the fact that you know, I feel like in general you just won't listen to most people's advice who will tell you about it. You'll be like, okay, sure, go ahead, you know, that's cool, you know. But got the Page of Cups here, the Hierophant in reverse, and the Devil card in reverse, with the Ace of Pentacles, Queen of Cups in reverse, Page of Swords. Now, what I'm doing here, and the reason why you hear me tapping the deck, because what I'm doing is I flip the deck upside down, I pull a card randomly, and I flip the deck again. So that kind of makes me sure that, you know, that the cards are well shuffled, and that the cards that I actually pull are not just always going to be upright or reverse. You know, I want to make sure that we get all different types of opportunities here in terms of these cards. Let's see here. Were you looking that maybe you were wanting to use this in terms of a business opportunity? With the Ace of Pentacles, I mean, there could be a sign of a business opportunity, but I feel like that's more in terms of you exploring it than actually getting into it. So, the reason why I'm pausing here, because I'm trying to see the correlation between these new 6 cards that I just pulled. We have the Page of Cups in reverse, the Hierophant, and the Devil. I'm seeing here. Okay. So I'm just going to go off the hip here in terms of what I keep seeing. It's actually multiple things here. I'm seeing some self-doubt, maybe a little bit of a confidence issue with these abilities, and no direction. Because I feel that this is actually more of a raw talent. And that's what the Page of Cups in reverse is telling me, that, and with the Hierophant, it's raw talent, and you can definitely harness this to actually make it grow. Now, you know, it probably flashed in your head, and that's why I kind of paused a little bit further on this to see if it was a business opportunity. I see that you might have like a very split second and see like, oh, well, maybe I could charge people if I was going to get into this, but it was just like very split. It wasn't really. It's more exploration, as I don't really care for materialistic things. So that's why I'm saying, like, it's a very split, you know, idea that, you know, what if I got into business, but, you know, it's just more of like, you know, in terms of making this more in tune and make it grow. Hence why I was telling you earlier about the Page of Cups and the Hierophant. Next thing we have here is the Page of Swords. Don't be afraid to actually talk to certain people about this. What if my own abilities terrify me? Which actually explains a little bit in terms of, I think, we have the Queen of Cups in reverse and the Page of Swords here. I see lack of confidence. I was telling this to you earlier, like lack of confidence in this, especially with the Queen of Cups. You might have not wanted this to probably happen, because, you know, just like you mentioned, is about your fear. I wouldn't let that like haunt you, honestly. The fact that you don't really exercise it that much, or nor do you practice it on people, really actually don't have a lot to worry about. Because the thing is, when you actually do these things as services to other people, you know, they're gonna, you know, want to hold you liable a little bit about it, right? And I think that's kind of one of maybe the fears that you're probably worried about, is like liability. and maybe it's just maybe against your beliefs as well. Hence, what they have the Hierophant in reverse. Um, I wouldn't fear it. Okay, and here's the thing, because we're all built with types of abilities, but a lot of like the media, religion, things like that, they always wanted to kind of bury them because, you know, what they believe what the Bible actually says, right? Now, here's my thing about this, and this is what I actually believe. You, or at least everybody in this world, has an ability, right? But because of the food that we eat, like fast food or just the wrong kind of diet, lack of exercise, as well as listening to media, listening to other people, all this BS that's happening in the world, this buries and dumbifies our abilities to expand out and be able to grow with our inability, or with our abilities to have intuition, empathic abilities, and even psychic abilities like that. Only certain people is able to actually kind of grow beyond it because their abilities are a little bit stronger, kind of breaks through that area, or because maybe you had a life change and all of a sudden things just started clicking with you, like, holy cow, like, what's going on, right? So if you don't want to follow this, part of the reason why I'm terrified of it, I spent time in the underworld as a child. I died for a couple of hours. Holy cow. Wow. Why don't you go ahead and continue that thought here? Which is kind of funny because we have the devil card here in reverse, and I didn't really get too far into that. I actually didn't touch that part because I was talking about the Hierophant and the Page of Cups more in terms of like direction. Well, these next few cards that I pulled out here, is when I woke up, I had these abilities. When you woke up, when you had these abilities. That's interesting. So, the next few cards that I pulled here for you, and this is probably more like a going forward kind of thing. We have the Ten of Wands with the Magician in reverse and the King of Pentacles. Then I have, following that, the Four of Wands in reverse, the Emperor, and the High Priestess. Now, I still don't believe you need to be fearing this, okay? What I do believe that you need to do, at least for you to trust yourself, and I think that's probably what these cards are saying at this point right here. Like, you do have, you recognize the abilities, which is fine. But thing is, it's all about trusting yourself to move forward without harm, right? And especially you're talking about yourself that you have a fear, you're fearing and stuff like that. But trust yourself that you are also doing the right thing in terms of exercising these abilities. Because with the King of Pentacles here, and I'm going to show you this card, you have a guy here grabbing the bull by its horns, right? And that could be you. That could be you. But the thing is, you have the Magician in reverse because you're letting things snipe you, right? And what was that acronym? Snipe. Susceptible to negative influences around other people, right? So, I wouldn't let that get to you. Because with the Ten of Wands here, I feel that you can really make this grow. You have a really, really powerful gift. And with the Emperor here and the High Priestess, you can actually make people happy. But it's because of the Four of Wands in reverse and the Magician card in reverse. Maybe it's not really fully surfacing in terms of what you can really do. Okay. I truly believe, and this personally, honestly, and but this is also written here in the cards as well, and this is whatever the universe has in plan for you, gave you these abilities, right? That you need to make these things grow, and as soon as you actually get these abilities to grow, or at least mature, then your true purpose will actually come to light. Because right now they're still they're strong, but they're not controlled. Okay, so yeah, the Chariot, Sun, and the Three of Wands here. So the second you start actually exploring this, it's going to be a downhill slide for you. Okay, it like your mind and or at least your body and your spirit is ready, but your mind is saying no. Okay, let your heart guide you, let your spirit guide you, and kind of let the mind, the logic, kind of take a back seat a little bit in terms of exploring this. Okay, that's kind of what I'm getting with this, because you can actually have a lot of fun. The Sun card, right now with Sun card in reverse, you're not letting it grow, and there's so much opportunities there for you to get into, but you're just not you're not letting it really manifest, you're not letting it mature, right? So I highly recommend you to my instance is out. I highly recommend you to look further into that. Okay, don't fear it. It's going to be scary road, but don't fear it. You have your incredible ability. It's very strong within you. You having this near-death experience. Oh yeah, it's totally going to go downhill. There's going to be experiences where things start to go downhill, because it's like it's you're fearing the unknown, right? And then you're then letting that psyop you, right? And so and especially with these things that are, let me pull on that, like as far as like these things are happening to you that are kind of going in reverse. Five of Swords, Queen of Wands, and the Hangman in reverse. I feel that there's no connection to that with your abilities. Okay, so because we have the Queen of Wands here with the Five of Swords, and the Five of Swords is telling me that the obvious is in front of you, but really the Queen of Wands upright is telling me that you need to like the Queen is all about empathy, it's all about creativity, nourishment, stuff like that. And especially speaking of the fact that it's Queen of Wands, that's a fire, like a Queen of Fire, right? Think of it that way. Because I do feel that there might be some sort of feminine energy within you, and you can let that actually grow, right? And with the Hangman in reverse, that's telling me right now that it really has no correlation between like the things that are happening with you and your abilities. Okay, so you lost your job, started getting harassed by leaders in your areas. I would say that those are just kind of coincidental in terms of what you're exploring. So I wouldn't let that get to you. Okay. Queen of Wands. Be the Queen of Wands. Okay. Nourish it. And there's a way you can actually use this to your advantage, especially when you're actually getting yourself a new job, or talking to different people and stuff like that. So you can really actually get into some some bigger and better things, as long as you can use this as a tool. Okay. But again, I don't see a correlation between your abilities and your life issues. Okay. So that was a pretty strong, intense read there. So I hope that was helpful to you. And I invite you to Indigo Mermaid's TV channel, right? Because we do a collaboration read, and I would love for her to actually give you a reading as well. All right, and see what she has to say. So subscribe to her, and next time you see her there with me, okay, hit me up and say, hey, I'm the new abilities guy that you talked to the other day, and I'll be sure to have her give you a free read. Okay. All right. Whew. All right, Raven. Okay, let's see here. Can you tell me who is trolling my business email? I feel like it's another tarot reader involved who is intimidating by me. And what is your sign, Raven? And while I'm waiting for Raven's sign, I'll take one free yes or no right now. So the next person who can post in here their name, their sign, and the yes no question, I'll do it right now for you. That's good. That's good, Grant. That you know where your things are going for you. That's perfect. The Virgo Leo and Virgo cusp. Okay. All right, Raven, let me just take this one free yes no, and then we'll get to your question. All right. So right now, looking for all in one comment right now. Name, sign, and yes no question. Lulu Virgo, does Kay like me? Pretty simple enough. Awesome. All right, Lulu. So give me evens for yes, odds for no. I have all odds. I have a Knight of Wands with the Three of Swords in reverse and the Five of Swords. So not a bad thing here, but the answer is no. I feel that there's good connection, but Three of Swords tells me it's not really a bad thing. The fact that he's saying no, I think it might be dodging a bullet here, but you're trying to be fast and to the point. Well, right now I got three odds. Right, we have the Knight of Wands, the Three of Swords, and the Five of Swords here, and with these cards, if you want to know more about this, like a 6-card spread, hang tight after Raven, and we'll do. You could probably do like a quick 6-card pull on you on that. Okay. All right, Raven. You are a Leo Virgo cusp, and you want to know who's trolling your business email. So let's put this first. Raven, let's ask. Is someone trolling you first? Okay, we're gonna ask a couple of questions here. Okay. Lucky enough, I'll definitely get to your question right after Raven. Baby, come back. You can leave it all on me. I was wrong, and I just can't live without you. Bow, 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 bow. Baby, come back. Yeah, yeah. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see here. I can believe that, Raven. I completely believe in that. So let's see here. You said that you were a Leo. Okay. Is there someone spamming her right now? Odds no, even yes. Well, I got all odds. The answer is no to this. Now, let's ask a more important question to this, because right now I have the Star card, 17, the Queen of Wands, which is a 13, and then we have the Seven of Cups, right? Now, reason why I'm pausing real quick, I'm just seeing if there's any type of psychic attacks that's happening, or somebody redirecting negative energy to you. I don't see any of that. Eight of Cups, Six of Pentacles, and Four Pentacles in reverse. And this is still growing on the question if anybody's spamming you, which The first answer was no. I just want to see if there's anything else that you can divulge into that. And what I'll do is I'll reshuffle and I'll ask if there is someone who is intimidated by you, or maybe even jealous of you and your abilities or your channel, perhaps, or your business. But I feel like that even with this is actually happening, like even with you believing that you're having these kind of issues, I feel that you're actually not letting it get you down. You're just kind of concerned because you don't. It just kind of annoys you. That's kind of what I'm getting from this, because with the Six of Pentacles here, and the Four of Pentacles in reverse, I feel that you're actually pretty well balanced, which is actually really good. However, though, the Eight of Cups, I feel like that maybe it's not more in terms of like it's threatening you. I think it's just more like in terms of like you just can't seem to get your business organized by it. It's like because these things actually happen, you probably spend more time with the spamming than you do with the business, or at least answering emails that are very legitimate, right? Let's see here. They seen me buying reads about my ex. Now they are telling me mean things about my ex. That's odd. Let's move on to the other question. If anybody is, instead of spamming you, let's re-ask the question, because the thing that I was getting in my head here is in terms of spamming emails. Right, I thought something like that along the lines of type of electronic messages, just like that. So let's re-ask this question, and let's just ask if there are people who okay, we can ask that question. We'll use that as a follow-up question, but the first thing I want to ask, I'm just trying to see if I can retool the question here. I want to ask if let's ask us if there's somebody in particular, or because I want to try to narrow it here. I guess what we could say is like if let's ask if somebody is well, I guess we just go to your original one. We can see if somebody's intimidated by you. We'll ask that. Okay. Odds no, even yes. So we have the Moon in reverse, the Two of Wands, and the Death card in reverse. So that's that's a possible yes that I'm seeing here. That maybe somebody is intimidated by you. The first word that actually just popped in my head was jealousy. Maybe because this person actually was kind of following you, but stopped following you because they started getting jealous. But they're probably still like tracking in terms of what you can do. Because I feel that with you, getting exposure and traction with the Two of Wands here, this is you stepping through the portal, right, of your growth and everything else. I feel that the way how you lead your life, and the way how you use these things that you lead your life to kind of help you in terms of what you do in your goals, might have gotten somebody else maybe a little bit jealous, thinking that, well, how come my life is not like that? I do all the same shit that she does, right? And has this started happening like maybe 2 or 3 months ago, something like that? Because with this Death card in reverse, I feel like that this kind of started recently, like maybe this year, at least 2 or 3 months ago. And you're welcome to correct me if I'm wrong on that. But yeah. So it's funny because I'm still thinking about this person in terms of, or um 2 weeks ago. Okay, so I was right on the number, but at least in the months I was wrong. But by the death card was telling me this is recent, and I got to hear the Ten of Cups, but the Ace of Swords in reverse and the Ten of Wands in reverse. So Ace of Swords is telling me here with it in reverse that whatever it's telling you is kind of false. Um, Whoever these people are, they kind of have a pretty good background in their life. Like they're very comfortable. I don't know why they're actually deciding to do this. But with the Ten of Wands in reverse here, um, I wouldn't let this phase you. And even with the Ten of Cups here, I feel that you're pretty protected too. So I wouldn't worry too much in terms of what's happening with you, and or at least how these people are coming at you. Um, let's see here. You had a question if they know anything about your ex. So let's ask that question here real quick. But jealousy is that's stupid thing. Some people, they get jealous because they're wanting to know, well, how come this person gets all the luck, right, and I don't? Like, you kind of see that at a casino, right? You might have been playing there for days, and all of a sudden somebody walks in the last hour and manages to win, like, tens of thousands of dollars, while you've lost tens of thousands of dollars, and they're like, what the fuck, why didn't that happen to me? All right, so you want to know if they know about your ex. You're saying, yeah, that's crazy. That happened to me. God damn it. All right. So, does anybody know Raven's ex? Give me odds for no, even for yes. Answer is well, it's just a no. Not a strong no, but it's a no. Excuse me. I got the strength here. The 13. No, 5, 6, 7. Oh, excuse me. That's 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. With the 15 and the 2. I still don't think they actually know your ex, actually, but they act like they do. And I got the Two of Wands again. Were these messages sort of like, oh, I slept with your ex and things like that, and your ex is kind of a floozy kind of? Is it like those kind of comments where people, they kind of say like, oh, I know your ex, I was with that person, and he dropped you for me, kind of thing. Yeah, they're saying that your ex is having sex with their friend. Well, I do have here the 2 evens with 1 odd, which kind of signifies that they probably, they probably trust their intuition, but I don't think they really know them personally. I have the Sun card, the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, and the 4 of Pentacles upright. So, when you got this reading, I'm thinking that it wasn't actually a full, complete read. It might have been incomplete. Um, and maybe you paid a little bit money. You feel like you didn't get your money, which is, you know, that can happen too. Um, I see that some of the information here. This is how I see it. They don't know your ex, but I feel like that some of the information that you might have heard may have some validation, like some validity to it. But I do feel that, you know, some people may have been jealous in terms that they might have seen your abilities, they know who you are, and they're just kind of wondering why this doesn't happen to them when it happens to you, right? All these nice things. And then you heard some information about your ex and stuff like that. They personally don't know them, but there's some validity to it. Well, we got the Six of Pentacles, the Four of Swords, the Knight of Wands, all in reverse. So, yeah, and you know, here's the thing, because these cards are really specifically answering the question: do they know your ex? And the answer is, you know, well, I feel the answer is no, but the information is yes, right? Like the information that they gave you has some validity to it. And then I got these reversals here, which is kind of telling me not to really take it too personally. I feel like it's going to fade out. It does jump little things, but they are not specific. They are not hitting it on the nail. Yeah, and see, like, it's not hitting the nail, but, you know, there's a few things here and there that's kind of, it's like, oh, that's totally true. But then all of a sudden they explain why, and then all of a sudden, yeah, that why is not really exactly what it is, right? So, but yeah, I wouldn't take it too personally on this. And we also, you know, take into consideration that, you know, tarot cards is really just a window into the future, right? So, take it with a grain of salt. That's kind of how I see it right now, right? And just focus on yourself. I got the Page of Wands here for you. Just focus on yourself. Don't let it get to you. And eventually, I think this is just, you know, this feeling that you're going to get is going to die out. So, yeah, that's what I have for you on that one. And absolutely, no problem, Raven. And by all means, if you want like a follow-up on this, or let us know how things are working with you, let me know at Yvonne's channel. The Indigo Mermaid TV, we do our collaboration reads there. So you know, say, hey, Anthony, I'm the one with the jealousy stuff, right? Just remind me who you are, and therefore we can probably do like maybe a quick yes/no reading, or just let us know how things are going on with you. Okay. Whew. All right. Abhinav, yes. So, your name, your sign, and your question, please. How long have I been streaming? Hour 18 minutes. Not bad. I might just do this maybe just a little bit longer. Abhinav, Leo, does she still miss me and love me? And will she come back? So those are two questions. Which one would you want? Will she come back, or does she miss and love you? Well, actually, that's three questions. So, because right now, even with the 6-card spread, it'll have to apply to one question. But if you want all those questions answered, it'd be a $5 donation. But choose which one you want: the miss you, the love you, or will she come back? Which one would you like? And if anybody else is there that wants a quick yes and no while I'm waiting for this, will she come back? Okay. And by the way, what is this person's name? The one you're asking about in their sign. Sakshi, Scorpio, maybe. Okay. Leo and Scorpio. Odds no, even yes. Well, I got the Empress, the Two of Swords, and the Wheel of Fortune. So we have 2 evens and 1 odd. So there's a possible yes. However, though, with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, and the Two of Swords, I think that the opportunity lies within you, because we have the Empress here, right? Which I believe is Sashki. However, though, with the Two of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune, I believe that it really actually depends on you in terms of what you say to this person, and try not to think of it as a portal gateway in terms of like, oh, well, if she says this, I'll say this. You know, try to don't put logic into it. Okay, it needs to come out. It needs to be fluid. But the other thing too is that if you are looking for communication with this person, I think that you're going to have to make the first move. But yeah, sign says that there's a possible yes that this person can come back, and it really all depends on you. But if you don't act upon it, you know, then it won't come to your doorstep, right? But you know, just kind of think in terms of like, you know, the things that you have to say. Because I'm not sure if why you guys broke up or why you're not together with this person. Because you're saying, you know, will she come back? So I assume that it might have been a, you know, kind of a small breakup here that has happened. But depending on what you do, and I think it's, you know, based on your decisions in terms of what may have broken this thing up, but to gain her trust back, it really depends on how you talk to this person. So good luck on that. All right, next person to do your yes no reading. So I need your name, your sign, and the question. And I'm going to be on here for the next maybe 10 minutes. So. Oh, right. Absolutely. Thank you for reminding me. All right. So, universe. So I think we said that this person doesn't like you romantically, right? I think it was like that. And you said that you're no longer in communication with this person. So I guess you want to get a 6-card reading in terms of like how can you get in touch with this person and like what you should do. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I think actually what you want to do is you want to see what you should do in order to get this person to like you. Because I think I said that it really all depends, like, you know, the things that you say, if I'm not mistaken. You are communicating, and he seems very interested. Okay, so you have to remind me what I said to you, because I'm sorry, I don't remember. Oh, so I was right when I said that. All right. So He does seem very interested, but you are communicating, and you just wanted to know like how are things going to move forward, at least between the two of you. So, all right, let's take a look. So I do see there's a strong chance that could actually go in a really good way for you. Now, I think I think I mentioned in terms of like because you had a sword-based card, and which kind of tells me that there's good communication between the two of you. And I suspected this actually before, and I remember the card that I pulled for you was a Seven of Cups, and I even said that he's comfortable with you. And here we have Six of Cups. Now, this is not exactly what the Seven of Cups is all about, but the Six of Cups is about like having a childlike relationship, things like that, or friendships. But to me, this is again communicating very very strong like comfortable state. So this person is really comfortable around you, and I think you can actually use that to your advantage. So first row I have here is the Ace of Swords in reverse, Ten of Wands in reverse, and then the Three of Wands upright. Just be you, for one thing, which is obvious. Don't overwork it. Like, don't make it too obvious in terms of like you liking him. Like, you could probably throw a little couple signs here and there, maybe. I think some of the things that you guys do with each other in terms of talking, like I think it can get a little like, I wouldn't say premature, but just it can turn into like maybe a like a slapstick kind of humor kind of thing. However, with the Three of Wands, it actually tells me if you play your cards right and you continue to be like best friends with this person, right? The Three of Wands actually is sort of like a compass for me, right? And I think it's an upright compass too, because Three of Wands is all about the portal. You have the person with the Two of Wands, and then the third one in the middle is the person actually taking moving forward. Because if you also think about this, number 3 is all about creativity. Right, it's the first number to actually create an actual object besides a 1 dot and a 2 dot, which is a line, right? But now that you have a third dot, you actually had sort of like a triangle-like shape, right? That's actually the first 3-dimensional object to actually be created within the number scheme. So with this being an upright, I think you have a really good chance to make this blossom to something really nice. Two of Swords in reverse tells me again, like romantic feelings is probably not there just yet, but he just needs to realize them, I think. Because I also have here the Wheel of Fortune, which is actually a pretty good card, right? The Wheel of Fortune is actually kind of telling me, like, it kind of enhances the whole being comfortable around you, things like that. I think that the one thing that he really likes about you is like I think he kind of sees you as a carefree type person. Like, if he was to tell you like, "Oh, let's go camping," you'd just be like, "Yeah, okay, let's do it," right? Or like you sometimes you actually do things on impulse, and I think he likes that too. So I also think the fact that he doesn't have a whole lot of friends in his life either. Like, he has a lot more acquaintances than actual quality friends, and I think right now you're filed under quality friends, which is actually really good for you. But yeah, I do see here that he's very comfortable with you. Just continue the way you are with him right now, and the feelings will actually grow. It can actually blossom into something else, right? With him being interested, I think he's probably just a little flirtatious. He likes the attention. So, and I think he kind of dangles a carrot in front of you a little bit to get you to bite, so he can actually enjoy the comments towards him, because I don't think he gets a lot of comments. But yeah. Yeah, that's actually what I get so far right now with the six. He mentioned that what he liked about me first when time we met. Oh, that's nice. Awesome. Um, so keep doing that. What you're doing, it's good. You know, like uh, you know, again, I still feel like that he just likes the flirtatious kind of thing. He's you know, he likes that kind of thing. He likes the attention, and I think you give him that attention too, because the fact that you actually like him. So, but just keep doing what you're doing. Spend more time with him if you can, like just going out and just having fun, and it's gonna blossom to something else. Because here's the first thing when it comes to relationships, right? Even though that the relationship can definitely happen, it's always good to have a best friend first and then relationship, because that way the relationship's gonna be a lot more fun, right? So, you're very, very welcome. I'm glad it was helpful for you. Okay, let's see what time we're at right now. Okay, perfect. So I'll take one more 6 card reading from somebody. Um, so post your name, your sign, and your question. Even though you're posted it again, you already posted it earlier. Post it right now, and I will take that question now. Now, before I actually before I move forward with that, I'd like to invite you all tonight to the Indigo Mermaid TV channel. Okay, I'm going to be collaborating with her, with Yvonne, and we're going to be doing a live stream together. Hopefully, we're going to be doing a live stream together, depending on her schedule. But that means that the two of us will actually be able to do tarot readings for you. All right. So and I believe the price is actually a little increased because we actually are using software that we have to pay monthly for. So your donations do go to a proper cause. But with that said, though, you know, subscribe to her channel and follow us there, because we're also building some really great content there. We're going to be doing like daily tarot reads, especially exercise tips and yoga tips, because she's a yoga instructor. So we have a lot of things planned in that channel, and you know, definitely stop by. We'll have more information on that. But subscribe to her. You'll see us there tonight with us doing our collaboration. All right, Ridhi, Sun sign Leo, moon sign Libra. When will I meet my life partner? Okay. So this is not really yes no for the 6 card spread. So what we can do is, within the next 5 years, will you meet your life partner? Okay. Hello there. Okay. So, Ridhi, Leo. Will she meet her life partner in 5 years? Odds no, even yes. Well, I got a soft yes, actually. I have 2 6s and 1 11. So that's 2 evens, 1 odd. So it's a good possibility you actually will meet somebody within the next 5 years. Now, here's the interesting thing, too, because one of the cards happens to be a lover's card. Look at that. So, with that said, I feel that in order for this person to come meet you, I think you need to. Oh, actually, hold on. Let me come back to that. Actually, yeah, I'll continue on that idea. Um, it's funny because you actually have three wands actually forming a triangle here, almost like a three of wands, but it's kind of reversed. And within it is the Judgment card in reverse, the Lovers, and then the Justice card in reverse. So I feel that in order for this person to actually come to you within these next 5 years or so, you have some doors to close. Emotional doors, for that matter. Because look at this. We have this Judgment card, and you notice like the sort of like a portal behind that door. Well, this is telling me that you're kind of, I wouldn't say dealing with demons like that. I think right now things are at bay, but I think you haven't really gotten over some of these issues. Especially with the Justice and the Ace of Wands in reverse. It seems that there's a path there for you, but your path hasn't been realized just yet. So, and it's funny I'm mentioning path here because the Six of Wands actually shows a boat person kind of blurry there. A person's kind of like sailing with these wands in the boat, right? Very similar to the Six of Wands, or Six of Swords, as a matter of fact. With the Six of Swords is a person actually in a boat moving forward. But with this right here, with this Six of Wands, and not really paying too much attention to the actual face value of it, but more of the, or not that face value, but not paying attention to the actual card's meaning, but the face value of it, is the fact that you need to take control of your path in life. And I feel that you can actually kind of ask yourself that question a couple of times, like, what am I really supposed to do in my life and stuff like that. And you kind of you're stable in certain things, but I think it could be better. I feel like it could be better. As a matter of fact, I think that with some of these things, you might feel that maybe your fault. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but they're not your fault. Or at least you feel guilty. I wouldn't say your fault. You feel guilty, and there's nothing to be feeling guilty about. Maybe because you were kind of. I think it's because you're kind of. You grew up in a life where you kind of put other people's needs first before yours, and when you actually did the right thing, where you don't follow through and making those people do their own things that they need to do instead of relying on you, you felt guilty about that, and and I think that's probably what you probably actually need to start working on. It's almost like your self discovery. I'm gonna pull actually two more cards for you here. Yeah, the Magician and the Devil card upright. I'm sensing like new identity, new you sort of thing. Um, I see you hesitating to pamper yourself too. To really, like you've forgotten, not really forgotten, that's a strong word. Like, you really don't pay attention to the things that you need in life to make you happy, to give you pleasure. Because you're always focusing on other people's needs. So, I think that before you meet this person, you need to, like, just work on yourself, pamper yourself, uh, don't be afraid to try new things. I'll put one more card. Yeah. Five of Cups in reverse. Don't be afraid to try new things. Let it go. Right? Because the Five of Cups is really all about like crying over spilled milk, but this one's in reverse, and you're like ready to actually kind of move forward too. Or you kind of already moved forward, but it really hasn't, kind of close the door behind you. Like there's air sweeping through, right? And almost like you have a door that kind of lets cold air in even though it's closed, kind of thing. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. You need to be able to get that door sealed, right? And what I mean by that is just, you know, just focus more on you, right? And even though we talk about focusing on just ourselves, you know, we have to really figure out what that means. Like, for example, with me, after my relationship, I was like, oh yeah, I'm totally going to focus on myself, and all I did was just eat hamburgers all day and play on the computer. But now I'm getting to physical fitness, I'm getting to the diet, I'm doing all these other things that I've wanted to do to catch up. So that could, I mean, our definitions from one person to the next is all, you know, when it comes to, you know, defining who we are, or at least, you know, saying like I want to focus on myself, it differs from each person. So you need to kind of figure out what is it that I can do that can really focus on myself truly, right? And if it's meditation, or if it's like, you know, whatever it is, you'll figure it out. You maybe look on some inspiration, like a 30-day challenge, for so to speak, which is what I actually did for myself. You know, I got into a 30-day self-love challenge where I kind of looked at affirmations each day, and I actually focus on each affirmation and be able to answer them, and it really opened up some heavy doors for me in terms of me and my dad, family issues, even relationship issues that I've just kind of, you know, made them kind of dormant a little bit. And I just like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and open this door back up so I can properly close it, right? So so that's my advice to you on this one, right? And I just pulled like 3 additional cards for you here on this one. So I hope that was helpful to you. And yeah, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and conclude it right now. It's already been an hour and a half. I want to thank you all for joining me today. Again, I'm going to be doing another live stream tonight with Indigo Mermaid. We're going to do a collaboration. That means that both of us are going to be doing tarot reads and stuff like that. So please subscribe to her. That way you get a notification when we come online. And we have some big plans. And we're going to be talking about that on her channel as well. So thank you very much, everybody, and I hope you found this really entertaining as well. And I also thank for all of you who actually watched me and gave me those likes. I really, really appreciate that. It's been a lot of fun. So my name is Anthony, also known as Groovedified, and thank you very much for your reading. It's very deep. Thank you for your comments. I really appreciate it. So you also find my email address down below, tarot@groovedified.com. So, namaste, everybody. Have a great day and happy Friday. Have a good one. Oh, hi, Tarot. Caught me right when I was actually about to log off.